Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Ahmad Lomayar. On this video I'm gonna teach you how to use the loopback request. So you could drag and drop. Let's drag and drop like 4 of them because it has a 4 type of operation. If you check the property of the operation, then you could create, retrieve, update and delete. So what is loopback request? Loopback is a node. It is used to interact with a backend data source such as MongoDB, Cloudant or PostgreSQL through the loopback connector. So it's a so simple data access. It allows you to easily create, like you see right here, easily you could create the operation, create, retrieve, update and delete record on a backend database using loopback connector. It is a synchronized operation. The operation are synchronized, meaning the request and response happen in real time, make it suitable for the immediate data transaction. Those data is also like MongoDB, Cloudant or PostgreSQL. They're all based on a JSON data handling. It works with a JSON data format which is widely used and easy to interact with the various system and application. Is a dynamic configuration. You can use the environment variable dynamically change the node setting during the message flow execution. So we're gonna, if you want to learn more about that one, you could come to this document, the IBM document website, and learn more about a loopback connector. We will create loopback connector, like whatever database you want, we need to create connector to that database. Let's say I want to decide I want to use MongoDB. We will create MongoDB connector, and at our module level on the ESQL I will show you where. And also we need to create data source, and we will use the credential with it. Once we create a credential in our cloud, then they will give a URL. So for that, when you want to use the loopback connector, for that we need to have a IBM Cloud. You need to come to this website ibmcloud.com and create an account. They would ask you the credit card. I already have it. They would ask you the credit card. It is okay because you're not charging anything as you pick the free plan. Let them to have your credit card, but they will assign you a free account. So right now I have account. Once you clock in, because this cloud, IBM Cloud, provide different service. If you want to learn more about it, just go to a catalog. It provide compute node, container, network, storage, like all type of. They support almost 21 type of database. You could learn what type of compute node support, what is the container, if you're familiar with a Docker or another container, Kubernetes services, like all type of. But my point is not to teach you the the data those services what the IBM support on the cloud, but you could learn if you want. Let's go to database. I want to use either Cloudant or MongoDB, whatever you MongoDB, but let's start with a Cloudant, then I will do the MongoDB too. First we need to create the instance of. First we will create the instance. Here's a JSON document database for the web, mobile and serverless application. They give you the information, you could come and read, and is a JSON based document. Is a Cloudant is a JSON based document. We need to create JSON object. So you could pick the, you see right here is a mini plan, but we will pick the multi-tenant. Is a free. They tell you the region where it is available. I will pick Washington because I'm living in New York, is near to me. Pick any instance name, Cloudant I1. I will pick Cloudant Mayor. Since I have one, I don't have it, I already deleted, but still it shows. But I will put /t with a training, like Cloudant Mayor training, and you could pick the tag. And right here is authentication. When you open the account, because this is the owner, I'm the owner of this cloud, that's why IAM authentication. This IAM authentication is enable you to use the HTTP basic authentication. This has the most access to it, so that way they give you the most access. But we will use the IAM plus legacy credential, because we will create a different because the service we provide, we also add the authentication, who access what and by what rule they should play. So the plan is light, so is a free, on a free plan it comes 1 GB gig storage, and write 10 write per second and 20 read per second, and a 5 query per second. And just once you complete that one, just say create. We just create the instance of the cloud end. So on that one we will use the second step. We will create the right now you could bring this one from right here to service resources, whatever service you use. Like let's say you have container or compute node, since we don't have it, shows 0, we only have database. Just refresh it again. You see now is +1, it shows 1 database, which we just create 1 instance, cloud n instance we created. Just click on it, we pick default Washington TC, and they give us the information. Click on that. Now in that they give us manage. We could right away launch and create it, but before we do that, you could just look what you have. Just review capacity, again repeating the information and document. You could read more, just click on that and read more about it. Credential we will create it right now. The one we create IAM and legacy. Now we will say new credential. I wanna service credential 1. You could pick anything. Pick the service credential for developer, for the product, like you could pick different one. But if you want to play like that, you could manage it through right here. Create a group, or create a resource group first, then create a group, then create a user, like those stuff. Like because it's a cloud, you could do that from the manage setting. And you could say advanced right here. You give you the advanced auto generate ID is optional. You could do that, and those options you could choose the file and create based on that. But we just leave it like that. We will pick the rule as manager, right? You could give the either manager rule, do all the access, reader only read and write only read, on monitor and check pointer. But I will sign manager because I'm the owner right now of my cloud. So we just create 1 credential. If you come right here, the most important information is API key, a username. This is our username, and this is our URL. This is the one we will use the most, the URL, the API key, and this is our password if you want, and this is our port number. So just remember, we will use that one once we creating a data source, because if you check right here, we will create the data source once we creating on a module and LoopBack connector. We will do first, let's create the LoopBack connector. Since we already, I'm gonna put also this link. This link I will put it, let's go one back. This link I will put on a video description plus this one. Once, like let's say you're working with a MongoDB, you're working with a cloud. Let's say you work with the cloud end, that's why we work right now. You click on that, they give you all the information step by step. First, let's say data source, we will configure data source. Before we do configure this data source, we wanna create a LoopBack connector, and you could read it from right here. It's telling you where to go to create LoopBack connector. Since I am explaining, let's copy that one and directly go to your IBM, like program data, IBM MQSI node module. This node module you need to go. Once you come right here, you copy this location and go to your just type IBM, because we want to open IBM, run it as administrator, and you need to change directly, say change directly, paste the address to come to that location. Once you come to the location, go back to your site and copy that one. This is the node package manager. We're using node pack manager because it's based on a JavaScript to install package. There's an easy way to install, and IBM support that. So we copy and paste. That will install for us the Cloudant, and they will bring the package on our this location, on a module location, and save it right here. Once you enter it, let's enter. Okay, now you enter it. Just give them 1 second. If you come back to the same folder, now we don't have it for 1 second. Everything would pop up. We just still waiting for it. You see, now everything pop up. The packages come. Like this is our connector. First step, we done it. The second step, just go back to your we need to create a database, data source config. The data, you could read about URL, username and password had to have, and the name or file name must be the data source JSON, and that had to be located on a connector. I will show you where. And let's copy that one, and make sure, remember when you're reading that one, the URL, they forget kind of comma. Let's copy that one and replace this data with our real data from our credential that we create. So I'm gonna open a, let me bring that, I just pasted right here. Said you could leave this name or pick another name. I will add S with it, my DBS, and that would be my data source name. And connector, because I'm using Cloudant, we need to leave. If I'm using a MongoDB, you could leave that one. So this is just a extra information because it's a Java, it's a JSON, that's why they add that one. We're gonna leave it, and we need to replace the URL and database. This is our database we create. So let's go back to our, first we need to, since we create our credential, now we want to create a database. How should we create it? Go back to your instance, like Cloud Moyer, the instance we create for the Cloudant, say launch. So once you launch it, give it some time. This is the database is come. We don't have anything. You could open it and monitor. This first option is monitoring, like how many is read, write, if there's a deny, how much storage you have, like all the information for monitoring. Database, since we don't have anything, is a replicate. If you replicate your database active task, we don't have it. Account information, they give a capacity announcement if something is new to it, give it to you. And this one is important. Just pick that one, because if you want to pick the restricting domain, like specific domain, you could add it, but I want to allow all of them. And you could change your setting from right. This is our setting, external point, and Washington DC we pick, and support and document. You could read more about that. But let's go back to database, and if you look right here, say create database, and there's a JSON based database, because we will create the object right now, the database. We click, you name it anything. I will create, name it my database. Let's say my database, yeah, with a 1 extras, because I already have it one. Let's pick my database underscore my underscore database, if that allow this one. Okay, it's allowing my database underscore. They give you a port if you want to do portation. If you want to do portation, use that one, and you could read more about it. It's it. You could improve your performance for the large database if you do the portation. Since it's not large, I just want to use the basic one and create. And if you're not sure, you could just say pick that one. Now we just create our database. The name is my database. You could just go back to right here. You see right now we have my database. You click, we come back to a simplest. We don't have any object right here. JSON object. If you want to create one, you could create one from right here. Just click and ID, I want to create say name. You could add anything. Say Moyer. Save. Now we have a JSON. You could play with it. How should they shows name first, then ID. You could play whatever. You could create and delete it back, or do the different query from right here right away. So right now it shows right here we use that much size bit, and one doc is the one JSON we have, and no partition. You could replicate it my database. You could set a permission for you or delete it back. So let's leave that one right here and just go to and copy this database name, because we want to create our data source file. Just copy that one and paste it, and now you go back to your the credential that we create. Go back. We need to copy this URL. Make sure you copy it with comma, not to forget it. Take this comma as well, comma, and come to your database file. Replace that URL, because also the URL says you need username, you need password, you need the host. If you want to do one by one, you could do it and take it from there, but I don't want to do one by one, and leave it like that and save it, comma, database. And we need to replace our API key. Again, we need to go right here. This is our API key. We need to copy this API key, copy, and come and paste it. Replace the X from it. One more thing you do, because there's an object, we need to add the object, a JSON object right here. So this is a JSON object. That's why I create JSON object. And now you could save it. To what location? You need to come to my program file, IBM, MQSI, and if you don't, connector. We need to come to connector, and we need to come to LoopBack. Now we need to save it whatever they say by the database name. This name we need to add, because I'm using a Node++. It give me all the option. See, I will pick the JSON extension, a JSON file, and save it. Now I create the JSON file, which is my DB, and this is the name, and this is our database. Let's leave that open and come back to your application. We need to fix those operations. So what I will do, you see, I just name it create. I will do create direct. I don't want to do any logic. Let's do the create direct and connect it to the, and retrieve. If you come right here, it's a data source name. The data source name is this is our data source name. We copy it out from our file, and we just place it right here. And LoopBack object. The LoopBack object is our database name. Of course, it's a LoopBack object because it's a JSON object. What it means is our database name, the one we create. And still you could call them. You could also call them LoopBack object. And now you pick the operation. What do you want? I want to create. The first one is create. So I leave it like that, and I don't want no security added, and timeout I will add it like that. Millisecond is that. And the second one I do same thing. Just come right here, copy everything from right here. DB, you click, pass it right here, and database. But this is a, if you see retrieve, we need to pick retrieve operation. And the fourth one is a update. I will pick update, and same database we added, and I'm gonna pick my DBS name on that. And the fourth one we do same thing, which is delete. I will pick delete because I'm creating delete option. And database name, I believe I have it, and my data source name and my database name. So save it. Now connect each of them. Let's connect each of them. So now we have all type of service. I use the compute node. The first one is direct. The second one is a retrieve. I will use the compute node, and also I will use the compute node, or I will replace it to use the compute node. That way you will see how should we use it either way. So now this service I have, let's deploy it and see if it's work fine up to this point, because we did a lot of setting. Okay, it's telling me the connector loopback JSON. You see the JSON data, something is wrong with that. Syntax error, unexpected end of JSON input. We need to fix that one, the JSON token. Okay, we need to check the, okay, I think one tag is missing, one curly bracket. Okay, 1 2 3. Alright, I think that was the issue. Let's redeploy it again. Okay, now it's fine. So up to this point we create a requirement for the LoopBackRequest. So what we do right now, I'm gonna send a request and to that, and right here we didn't do anything, and all we do that we need to pick the JSON, the input, pick the JSON. For everything you should pick the JSON, but if you know, because for retrieve is not a big, for update is a big deal. For delete is also, you could pick the blob, anything you could pick, but I will pick everything JSON, there's nothing wrong. So now I pick JSON and copy, redeploy it. So now that is fine. Let's go back to the online service. This is the JSON data. You could pick any JSON data, or you could pick the simplest one. It's up to you, but I want to pick the simplest one. You will see it. How should we do this? And come to right here, paste it, and I don't want to make it so complicated. That let's say administration, that is fine, and this comma is taking out. So this is our JSON. Let's use the first one. First service we have is create. If you come to basic, is create, copy that one and go back to your request, create the, I'm sure you know about the REST service. Create the REST service with the local host 7080 and with the endpoint you add. All you do that, pick the method and add the data and send it. If you check, let's check what is the issue. Let's add a breakpoint and send it. Now we got the request, a JSON. Okay, data is messed up. No, I did it. JSON server. What is this tag? JSON person error, how to occur. Okay, JSON problem. What I will do, I will pick something simplest. Okay, yeah, there is a extra tag. That's why copy paste is not good. Let's send it again. This time should work fine, and but not JSON. Okay, because kinda, let me even completely take out this JSON and just try. You know, you could write your own JSON, there's nothing, no problem in that. I will say last name Muhammad, let's send it and complete that one. I would, if once I complete that one, okay, this one is coming. That one is, everything is fine. The problem was with the JSON, and just complete it and come back. You see, we created automatically, they created me ID. So if you go back to your application and to a cloud service, before we had one, But let's check our database, how many objects, how many documents. We have 2 documents right now, and the first one was Moyer, and this is the second one. The last name, it created Muhammad. We just created, and this create the ID and reservation, do stuff with it. So let's do the delete as well. How should we do the delete? On delete, on retrieve, let's do the retrieve. The second is retrieve, and right here we will use the Java, and the second one I will use the what do you call the compute node. So I just first we need to get the input. If you don't know how to use the Java, I already have a few videos. You could go back to there, and this is the basic one. I'm sure you know it. I will say root tag and end message, because I'm getting it from right here, end message, and because it's only repairing to get message, I will say to get root element. We need to get up to root element on that. That's our root tag. What is this? Okay, we didn't add the equal sign. So now you could say right away, let me send the data first. Let's say the reason I'm using the tag, because we're using get retrieve, we get using it, we need to use the header. Just add the ID. I pass the ID right here. You could, what ID you want to pass, you need to go to your document, whatever data you want to retrieve. I want to retrieve this one, Muhammad. I want to pass this ID. So whenever I send it, they should pick it up right here. So I send it right here. If you come right here, this HTTP, and there's ID. There's our IDs right here. We want to catch that one. Leave it like that. You might get familiar with that one. I say get first element by ID. I will use, this is the good way, always use a get first element by this is a, I don't used to use that a lot, but this is a replicated, don't use it right now. Get first element by ID. You pass the same variable name, copy, and say double quote, because sometimes when we send the data, there would be not the second tag or last tag. That's why I don't want to say get the last tag. I could say that get the last tag, they will get this one, but I want to use this way. So anytime you want to change the ranking, the sequence, if that become the third sibling or the first sibling, still I'm gonna say get it by first ID. So we just get the HTTP header right now. Now I want to get I want to get to this ID. So you could say MB element. No, let me sign it to a string. I will say ID something, and this time I said, well, I'm typing over there. This time I say root tag get element by ID, get element by path, get all element, no, get first element by tag, first element by path. This time I pass ID. I want to come this one, I want to pick it up, and ID. So but this is the string and this is the MB element. We need to change that one. We need to just click right here, change type to MB element. Either you could do that or you could cast it, but and also I just wanted the value, get value, value. You could say now I want to cast it. You could say string and make it just say string in the front of it. That will cast it to a string, and we will add the ID right here. So now this ID, we assign it to our ID. So one thing more, on a ESQL, when you add the ESQL right here, let's say compute node. If I want to use compute node, because when I'm using local environment, on this has a property which I am invoking at, and this from from this property I could use the local environment and message, but on Java we cannot do that. But before that I want to delete all the sibling that exists on a local environment. So local, I'm sure you know about local environment. So I want to first access that one, local environment. So you could do that. MB message, the way we create, anytime we started is because its message is coming from assembly. Remember, coming from assembly, that's why we say MB message. And the class support an assembly support first that, but once it get to sign to a variable, to an object, then it support the element. Right now it's MB assembly because I want to get to a root tag and I want to name it. You could name anything. I say local environment in assembly because data is coming in assembly. This time we're not saying get message, this time we say get local environment. This is the local environment. You could finish it right here, and right now after that we could say the MB element because it's become to element, it's no longer MB message. So local environment says local root, I will say root tag because we want to get to a root tag, and pass get to a root tag. For some reason, if I could add right here, if I could add it, then I don't need to use it. Let's see. No, I cannot. Okay, the function is missing. Okay, we cannot add it. We need to use the two separate. Okay, now we need to use two separate to get to root tag, because first time we need to create the object of the class, then we using the element. Once we getting to element, you see the get root element, that's why it's assigned to element. So now first I want to check the child if there's any sibling inside my root element. If there's any sibling, I want to delete it. I said I could say child or anything. Local environment child. I name it local environment child. So I because I want to check if there's any child on root tag, any data on root tag. If you come right here, let's go back to debug mode. You see local environment right now this is destination. I want to delete that one because I want to create mine, otherwise it cause issue for me. I don't need this request identifier. I want to delete that one. I want to detach it or delete it. You could do that. I want to delete that one. How should I delete it? I either use the delete keyword or just say detach. So first I want to assign it. I say get first child. Get the first child. Now I want to use the while loop. While now is a once it comes to if and while condition, it is basic Java. Use it like a Java. So if my child is my local environment child is not null, remove it, detach it. Is not equal to null because I want to be a null. If it's not null, I want to delete it then. So MB element child, let's do child by child. Next child. So that way you know next child equal to dot get next child, next sibling. Like each time go to next sibling and delete it. Each time you assign it to next sibling and I'm gonna delete it. Local child, I want to detach my local child. First I want to detach my detach. You could delete it or detach it. I want to detach it. And say next. I want to assign it to next child. Why is come to that? I want like my local child assigned to next child because I say next child and add it to next child and keep checking again. If it's again, they delete everything, whatever it is right here, they will delete it. So like first time they check is not empty. Okay, it's the first child is not empty, no problem. We move it to a second child, but we delete the first one. Then we replace it, we swipe it back, and we add, repeating again and again till it finished. Nothing is right here. Once it's nothing right here, then I want to create my own MB element. Let's do it quicker because I want to finish it. I want to create because if you on a compute node, we need to use a local environment destination loopback.request.id. We need to create all of them right here similar. MB element, we need to first create those elements on the local environment. First I will call them destination because I'm creating destination, and local environment. 1 minute. Local environment, I want to get the local environment, get create as a last child, create as a last child. Okay, what I want to create MB element, and that MB element I only want to create the tag name, the element name. So the element name is destination. Destination, like same thing is right here. Could copy it, paste it right here, cut and go back. I want to paste it right here, and there's a no value in it. And let's make it bigger right now. So I'm gonna repeat this one to a few more, like to request, to loopback, to ID. First is that the second is we will say loopback. If the spelling is wrong, we will fix it, but right now I will replace loopback. This is the request, we will add request, and also I will show you how you do on the what do you call the ESQL, and we're using ID. So the ID has a value because that's why we create a value right here, string value. I want to pass it right here. So now we create, I'm gonna add ID right here, ID. So what we do first is destination. On the destination is loopback. We check it to loopback. On the 1 minute. Destination is first is on the local, then destination. On the destination is loopback. We're using loopback. On the loopback is a request. We're using a request. So we just create our database, but first we delete it. You use that one always, is better, not give you a headache. That's why. Let's complete it and deploy. Hopefully this work. I'm going to delete that one and come back. If we want to replace that one, we could replace it. Let's do it quicker. Okay, it's complete. I'm gonna copy that one, go back right here because it's get. If I click on that, because I'm using get nobody, I'm using the header, I pass the ID. So let's replace that with and come back. Let's finish it. First we check. You see, it gave me all the information I want. Like whatever ID I pass, you give me this information. But this time, let's debug. You see the Java code. Okay. I'm gonna add breakpoint so next time you see it. Let's go back, and this time you will see it. First we create root tag. Root tag, there's nothing. There's we point it to the HTTP input header. The second, we get the ID from it and turn it as a string and add it right here, which is ID, and there you see we get the ID data. The first one, we create the root element, which is a get local environment. We use it on a local environment. We get up to root element. on a root element we get the first child, then we just loop it through all child and delete whatever exists. Let's check the assembly. You see the local environment, and there's a local environment. Whatever we clear it, it doesn't show clear, but we let's one. So there was one, we deleted. Now we create destination. We create destination with 1000 type is a domain type, and we will say LoopBack the created. Then we create with the create ID. So if you check, we created simply. Now we gonna send it outside. Let's send it outside and to LoopBack, and we retrieve data. But because of exception happen, that's why it doesn't. Let's complete it. So let's use the update. I'm gonna use the update on a we pass everything same. All we do that. If you pay attention right here, we did not pass data, like whatever come, we didn't pass it to go outside. On our update we will do the same thing. Whatever code we have on a Java, let's do it first in Java. If that cause anything, then we're gonna go to the compute node. We could use the compute node. Let's out to right here, we're gonna save it. Same thing we do, but all we gonna add, because I wanna like whatever data come, I wanna pass it to output. I wanna make output from it. Let's do that and check and see. Okay, it's deploy. Let's recheck everything. What is that? Is update, and update we using either put. Right here we using put. What you want to update, just open it. This one I want to update. Instead of Muhammad, I want to add Ahmad, and we need to add the ID. The ID is to the same thing. Instead of Muhammad, I want Ahmad, and check the URL and let's send it. We come right here. Let's get in. You see, we create the LoopBack ID. Okay, this caused issue. Let's deploy. What is the issue? Okay, clean up and come back. I'm gonna get in. Okay, destination. Let's check the data. JSON data, last name Ahmad is come. JSON data, local environment, LoopBack, destination. Okay, ID. It's fine. Why that cause issue? Check the exception. Receive data for the update operation but was not on a JSON format. Okay, the reason is because the data we send on a compute node, it is not a JSON format. That's why it's complaining, because we just pass whatever it come. Whatever come, we pass it right here. But let's turn it to a JSON format. We want to use reset. We could do that one. And let me delete that one on update. You could use that and turn everything to a JSON format, but I want to do it this way. So JSON format and reset content. So that's all I do. So let's see if the issues get fixed. Okay, it's deploy. Let's send it now. Now it's fine, but it's not fine again. Let's use the compute node. If that cause on a compute node too many property. Yeah, probably we didn't delete it, but we deleted. Update. What is complaining? Too many property. LoopBackRequest ID. Okay. JSON ID okay, that's fine. Okay, let's delete this. The reason let's delete that one because we will create a JSON message. If I put this one, I'm gonna delete that one because this way it create too many property. I wanna get the end message, so let's use it right here. Input, this is my input data. Say MB element, MB JSON, MB element. I will say last name because the data come on the last name and the tag of in message. The get root element dot get data by the path. I'm gonna pass that because if you check right here, it come as a last name. You see last name, it come as a last name. That's why we say JSON slash data slash after data is a last name, whatever we mention over there, last name. So we're gonna assign the last name. You could say dot get value, but let's use to string value. So you're gonna learn one more tag too. So now we're gonna create output JSON data. I'm gonna create output JSON data. So I same element again and output root equal to. If you don't know what I am doing, I have a video. I explain those one as a basic. Get a root element, create, because I'm creating as a last child. First is JSON, that's why MB JSON, and I want to parse it. If you don't follow me, I have video to watch. But what I did right now, I just create a tag of JSON. Under that tag, any child that comes, the data would be as a JSON. So MB element, let's MB element repeat that one. And this time say output, let me name it data, and this is out root data. This is not, take this out, create element. This time we want to create the data because JSON data tag. If you want to create JSON data tag, is a still it is an element but is a data tag. Just want to tag the element, and you could say data right here, nothing is a problem. But if you want to do fancy way, say JSON, and what do you want from a JSON? I want an element, and there's a no value. We don't want to assign any value to that. Just copy. Now we want to create the last name. So output last name, you could name it anything because it's on the data tag. So what we see, this has a name value pair. Instead of type, say name value pair. So I'm gonna clean this one JSON tag. I'm gonna add name value and pair. You could add a tag name from there, but I don't want to add. Just say last name. Just hard coding it, and the value I want to add this one I create, and I want this one to get as a string. Get value as a string. Get value as a string. Get value as a string. You could use that one. Get value as a string. Just I want to turn it as a string. So now everything is fine. What we did, we we create data, we get it from outside, whatever is coming as the last name, we sign it. Now let's deploy and see, hopefully it's work. Okay, it's deploy and let's go. Okay, now as update, I want to send that as a, I will say as a Karim, and the data we pass the ID from it and want to send it. So let's skip it. No, get inside. We already create that one because we had the tag right here. You could destination, root tag and everything. Let's complete it and delete that one. And okay, if you check right here, you see we create a JSON data this time. Everything is look fine. JSON data has a last name which is Karim. We want to update that one through our LoopBack ESQL. LoopBackRequest. Now with everything fine, you see we just went through and we got a replay back, and replay is 1. That means everything we update 1 count. If you come right here, you see count 1, we update 1. If you go to your cloud server, just go back to your cloud server, and we have a 2 database. You see now we have a Karim, we updated. You could pass it. So let's work. If you want to do this one on the ESQL, is so simple because ESQL is also always simple. Let's use the delete keyword, and delete we add same stuff. What we don't add, we're gonna add it from local environment. All we sending the ID name, and that's all it does. And let me add it right here. First we create local environment to the first child. We delete that one right here. We just create the destination, LoopBackRequest and ID. So what caused the issue? Okay, why is this not right here? Okay, we need to copy from right here. Just Ctrl Z. Okay, sometimes it's messed up, but that's okay. Be patient. Just Ctrl Z and now paste the new data. So now is everything is fine. What we do, I'm sure right now you know, is a repeating code. We just copy and paste. On a delete ID we do same thing. What we do right now, we just go to, because I'm using delete queue, copy that one, come back to your, I want to delete same Karim, I want to delete. You need to put your header, and I've changed your method to delete, and let's reopen it. You see it's a delete item. This is not important, but still if it causes issue you will see it and fix it. Now with delete come up, let's see if there's any complaint. Okay, now sometime it's not moving. Okay, delete local destination LoopBack, we create that one ID, hopefully it's work. Okay, it's working. Now we pass that one. If you see the count one is a fake because the delete one is gone. If you come back to your day, you see now we have it there. So this was a LoopBackRequest. Hopefully you learned something. But if you want to use the ESQL, there's a so simple ESQL. Let me use it quicker for you. Just let me stop. All you do that, just add the compute node. Once you add a compute node, just connect it to anything, like to data update. Let's delete. On update is the complicated one because we're sending data as well with it. Just click, and because we're sending the same data with it, we need to set first whatever data come, we want to send it output. Whatever come from an input, we want to send it back to that input and save it. Now what we do, we using a local, whatever we use over there, output local environment we wanna. For that, one thing I want to mention, once using that one, make sure you pick the message as a local environment. And let's go back, and now we want to use local environment dot. You could come and copy same tag that I used right here. Destination, you could come right here, use destination LoopBack dot LoopBack. Let me, okay, this one I'm going to do. Okay, now let request, because I'm going back, so request an ID. Where we getting ID from? We getting ID from input. And where from which input? HTTP. Just type H, they give him. We getting HTTP input, and that was ID. All you do that, and this work fine. So this is the update. Yeah, just for the delete one, you just delete or retrieve, you just send the stack. For delete to retrieve, let's copy it for you. So I'm gonna make it a little bit faster, and I will check delete one. That's all. You could use that one for delete. You could use that one for retrieve. You could use that one for the delete, update, and get. This tag is working. H tag, just send this tag with the ID, they will do the job for you. We didn't do anything. But for the update, we using this. We need to send the data. Whatever data has come, we need to send it, and also we need to pick the data as a JSON. Make sure your data as a come as a JSON. Let's replace the update one right here. We're gonna replace it, and if that causes me issue because it's already 1 minute, then I'm gonna stop it right here. Destination LoopBack ID. Okay, let's deploy it. Okay, so let's go back to our service, because what we have a only name, which is a very good thing. It's simple. We will say update again, put is update. All we do that because we creating a JSON, and that's it. And what we want to update, name as a Muhammad. That's all we do. If you go back to your, okay, and now let's update it. Send. Okay, still is working with Java. It's still a delete one. Okay, my bad, I don't want to delete it. Hopefully they don't delete. Okay, I want to update. That's good. I didn't update because I didn't add the ID. I'm gonna add ID to update, and URL. We need to pass the URL as an update one, but be careful with the delete. Probably you delete all the, that's why right here, because I'm showing you, but over there just take your time to do something. You see, we just update. Okay, it's causing issue. Okay. Okay. Local environment, destination, LoopBack. request ID has come and data coming as a name case 1. What is the problem then? Okay, you could do it like that, but so let's check you check that. You see the ID cannot be found, so the ID is not found, but this is the way it code. It's not big deal, or you could fix it by yourself.